Although Andrzej Duda is the president and Mateusz Morawiecki is the prime minister, real power is in the hands of Jarosław Kaczynski, who is the leader of the ruling Law and Justice Party. Andrzej Duda is young, he's charismatic, he's good at communicating with people. He's visited every single town in Poland since he's been president. So he provides a sort of friendly face, if you like, of the ruling Law and Justice Party, while Jarosław Kaczynski, who's 71 years old, is rather austere. But Andrzej Duda very rarely uses his veto powers. He pretty much signs everything that the Law and Justice Party, which controls Parliament, puts on his desk. In 2017, he did veto some of the very controversial court reforms after there were mass protests, but then he had to basically propose exactly the same legislation again, almost unchanged, a few months later. So that shows just how much he is basically under the control of Jarosław Kaczynski. He doesn't have a political power base of his own. So, to put things simply, if Andrzej Duda wins this election, then Jarosław Kaczynski will be able to continue with his conservative nationalist agenda and with what the European Union is very worried about in terms of authoritarian drift, control over the courts and the media and so on. If Andrzej Duda loses, then that will be a significant break put on Law and Justice's agenda, because although it will still control the Parliament, the President, as you said, has the power of veto. Poland's very divided. The Law and Justice Party is very, very popular, but people who oppose it very, very strongly. And I think there are a lot of people in Poland who see this election almost as a last chance to save that democracy and to put the brakes on Law and Justice's agenda. That motivates people to vote. You see here I'm at a polling station. There's not a queue outside this one, but I've seen on TV that outside some there are people queuing. Of course, it's taking longer to vote than usual because of sanitary procedures, the need for everybody to wash their hands with antiseptic, wear masks, keep social distancing and so on. But the feeling here is that people are motivated to vote. Yes, another factor motivating people to vote is the homophobic language that Andrzej Duda and his team have used during this campaign. He described the LGBT rights movement as an ideology that is more dangerous than communism. A large part of Poland thinks that that kind of line is simply unacceptable in a modern European democracy, and they want to show it. Then, of course, there is the other Poland, the Poland that supports the Law and Justice Party, and that is very alarmed at the prospect of an opposition president being in the presidential palace, vetoing the party that they voted for in the parliamentary elections agenda, and they don't want that to happen. And so both sides, I think, are pretty motivated. Some polling institutes predicted record high turnout, though it has to be said in Poland turnout is often pretty low, so even if it's above 60%, that will be considered high.